What's going on, guys? Welcome to Own the Chaos, where we talk about everything OTC or over-the-counter stocks, hence the play on words OTC. So thank you for joining me tonight. We're going to be talking about my top 3 stocks, as we always do on Sunday night. So if you're joining me for the first time, welcome. I hope by the end of this live stream that I earn your subscription and a smash on that like button to show me some support and love. And also, I hope that you check out my community that I've helped create. It's called We Trade HQ. The links are in the description. It is an amazing community of 2,300 members worldwide, where we come together for absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything to join. And, basically just come together and support each other. Whether if you're a first-time trader, if you've been trading for 20 plus years, it does not matter. We have folks in there from all backgrounds and trading styles. And so I just kind of wanted to actually touch on that a little bit. We actually have a new mentor within our group who trades on options and big board stocks. I've created a new channel for him. It's African Emporium. Check that out within the Discord group that we have. Again, links are in the description for you to explore everything that We Trade HQ has to offer. We have courses, mentorships, anything to step up your game. When it comes to trading, it's there for you. And we're constantly developing and improving on our platform and what we want to do to change your life for the better. So now that I got all that out of the way, again, if you are new to this Sunday Stock Watch Sunday live stream, it's a regular live stream that I go that I have every Sunday, where I talk about these 3 stocks that I'm watching for the week. And also, if you have questions about that, you can feel free to answer them right over here as people are chatting away right now. And so let's get started. ASNT, MLHC, and DIRV are these top 3 stocks that I'm watching this week. Lots of action on DIRV Friday and towards the end of the day, so I'm excited to see why that had happened. We saw, I think it was almost 100% swing on DIRV on Friday. Lots of drama surrounding around MLHC, so we'll dissect that and kind of clarify a lot of things going on when it comes to that as well. And ASNT is kind of one of those wild cards. If you guys have been following me on my Stock Watch Sundays, I remember saying wild card in the mix of MLHC when I first shouted that out about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And look what it's done since then. We got in at 0003. It's had highs of 0025, and I anticipate that it's going to continue to roll after people start to come to their senses a little bit on the drama that's surrounded around MLHC. I think there's a lot of good things coming, and we'll just take a look at that again and dissect all of that mess. So without further ado, let me go ahead and just welcome some folks here. Taylor Made, I saw that you chimed in your first live stream. Welcome. Good to have you, and that you purchased the course. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me and in the form of a direct message. I usually answer all of my folks within 24 hours or so. I got a lot of questions that come up every day, so try to make my rounds within that 24-hour period. Alan, good to hear that you're safe. Alan is actually one of our regulars, comes in, and he lives in the along the Florida Gulf Coast. So glad to hear that you're safe. And we're going to address some Hurricane Michael stuff later on this week. I think we're going to try to do something to help those folks down here. You guys know that I'm always open to starting fundraisers or what have you, and I've even gone on location to help folks that were affected by natural disasters and the like. So I'm no stranger to that. So if you guys have any suggestions or ways that you want to help, please reach out to me when it comes to that sort of thing, and I'll be happy and with open ears on that. So some folks talking about the volatility of the market. Yeah, welcome to the OTC, pal. Wild question, sorry in advance. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get to that question. So guys, please feel free to ask your questions here, and I'll come back to them towards the end of the video. So let's go ahead and get started, okay? So if you have never been to We Trade HQ, here it is. And I have ASNT pulled up right now. And one of the greatest things about We Trade HQ, and there's plenty of great things about our platform that we've built, but we have live data here for you to check out on We Trade HQ. It's absolutely free. You can go ahead and do your technical analysis on our charts here the trading view charts that are integrated within our site, and you can also chat in real time. I can go ahead and say, hey guys, what's going on? And so let me see here. Let me bring it back down here. One sec. Sorry about that. So anyway, here is the WeTradeHQ platform. One of the greatest things about this, again, is that we have trading view charts. You can chat in real time with your friends. It's all free. And it just gives you an opportunity to see what people are talking about your favorite stocks. So if you check out ASNT, again, one of the stocks that I'm watching tonight, or this week, I should say, for me, the indicators that I use the most are Bollinger Bands and RSI indicator. So for me, when I'm looking at this, I like to look at the hourly chart. And we can see, in my opinion, I think this is a very oversold situation. It was only 2 weeks ago that ASNT was in the 5-cent range. And we could see a nice reversal coming here. If I'm looking at the fundamentals on this, I pulled up the 10Q for you guys to check out as well. Now, they do have convertible debt, and we know that we hate convertible debt. Anything that has to do with dilution is always a pain in the ass. But I will say that ASNT doesn't appear to be diluting very quickly. When you see the conversion of shares here, it's not happening at a rapid pace. And so for me, I think, in my opinion, that this is a healthy way of doing it. We look at the last quarter here, and it was at $1.591 million in debt as far as convertible shares go. And the most recent Q came out, and it was only about 60,000 that was converted. Really not that much. Really not that much when it comes to the dilution and conversions of shares on this. So for me, this isn't one of those things where they're just dumping and dumping and dumping and dumping and not letting it breathe. There's a healthy way to convert those shares, and then there's an unhealthy way to convert those shares. We've seen that a lot. There's that toxic dilution that goes on. For me, in my opinion, I don't see that there's all that real heavy, disgusting dilution going on. Of course, it's there, but it doesn't seem like it to me. I mean, we've seen some crazy volume going on here, and I think, honestly, that a lot of this could just be dumping of retail shareholders. I don't necessarily think that this is all dilution going on here. It's kind of hard to imagine that all of this is dilution. So ASNT looks like it could be signs of reversal going on here. We see the Bollinger Bands are starting to tighten up a little bit here, which we know could indicate some sort of shift one way or the other. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to pop up. It could mean that it's going to go the other way and pop down. But just based off of where it was just weeks ago, I have reason to believe that we could see some sort of reversal here on ASNT. So that's why it's on my watch list this week. Again, not something that I'm telling you that you should be buying or whatever. It's just a watch list, right? It's a reason why we call it watch list. It's not a buy list. It's not a sell list. It's just watch it, see if you find value in it. And if you do, it's up to you to make that decision. So next one is going to be MLHC. Now, there's a lot to uncover and unravel with MLHC. I know this has been a hot button item for the last couple of weeks. Called this out at 0003. I actually bought it at 0003 myself and have been adding ever since. I have an average of 0008 on MLHC. Still very happy with the way the stock's reacting. Wasn't too crazy about it on Friday. A lot of us were pretty disgruntled on Friday when we saw that MAXM, which is typically known to be a dilutive market maker, showed up on MLHC. And a lot of us were very irritated because we saw, this is because we were reading stuff like this, right? This PR came out a few days ago talking about eliminating dilution concerns. Now, again, if you open this up and you're looking at the PR in general, it doesn't say that they eliminated their debt or their convertible debt, but they are not diluting at this time. One thing to keep note of, if a stock is not current, they can't dilute shares. These note holders cannot dilute until the status here says pink, and they can't do it with the stop sign on here in OTC markets. So MAXM showed up. People were like, what the hell? This thing was diluting, and they told us that they weren't going to dilute, and they did. And I honestly, will take ownership of this as well. I felt as if because Maxim showed up, or MAXM showed up on level 2, that, you know, because it's known widely as a dilutive market maker, that, you know, it was in fact diluting. But, and I will go here very briefly because you guys know how I feel about Investors Hub, but there's a select few people on Investors Hub that I do, you know, trust, and that I do feel they do good work when it comes to due diligence. It's taking them a while to see the light and realize that WeTrade HQ is the platform to be coming to nowadays. But I won't hold that against them. And I'll show you here basically the breakdown. This guy's name's Sturfsy or Sterling, and he's does a lot of great due diligence, puts a lot of stuff up, doesn't try to, you know, ruffle any feathers or anything, just tries to find information and put it out there for people to dissect and come to their own conclusions. But I thought it was interesting. He actually called MAXM and spoke with them and gave a very detailed description of his conversation with the folks over there. And basically what they explained was that there actually was no, you know, conversion going on. There was no dilution going on from their end. There's a lot of good information on here from Sturfsy that he put on about the conversation that he had with MAXM. And again, I don't want you guys to get in the habit of taking people's words for it or basing your buying or selling decisions off of anyone else's opinion. Come to your own conclusions, but that's the whole point of having networking, you know, and communities here, right? Is to be able to share information that we find out and take all of that information and make that decision for yourself. So for me, in my opinion, I always like and admire the due diligence that Sturfsy does on Investors Hub. I would love to have him be able to, you know, shed some light and put some some due diligence, share some of that within our own platform. So if anybody knows him personally, ask him to reach out to me. I'd be happy to have him as part of the community, just to be able to add one more quality you know, piece to that puzzle that we're looking for. But I thought it was great. I thought it was great that he called and you know, went and did his own work. That's the name of the game, right? Going out and doing your own due diligence and doing your own work and finding bits of information that's going to help you make the best investment decision. And so that's what he does, and he shares it with the group. No questions asked. It's just some quality, you know, work that he did. And so again, this isn't something that I'm used to just doing and sharing with stuff on Investors Hub, but there's a very select few people that I personally trust when it comes to this sort of thing, and he does do very good work. So check it out for yourself. It's, you know, and you can see it here again, the whole entire conversation he had. And the other thing is with MLHC, look, when I'm looking at the chart here, it looks like it has formed a nice solid base and support level at 0013. Several times it's bounced off of that 0013 support and has yet to have come down. I don't anticipate it coming any lower than that because of the strong support it's shown so far over the last several days at 0013. I could definitely see so much other potential in this. If we're looking at MLHC, there's crazy news that came out. In my opinion, you know, I don't know. I mean, it was yet another acquisition. We already know about the acquisition when it comes to Best Choice Nuts and candy specialties. They also have, you know, beverages, which we already went over last week, so I'm not going to harp on that too much, but there's celebrity endorsements with that, so take that for what you will. But this came out that they closed acquisition on Friday. They closed it a little bit earlier than anticipated, and they now own 60% of American Asset Holdings, which is a cannabis company. All kinds of good stuff here within this PR that I'm not going to go over entirely. Definitely check it out for yourself. It's otcmarkets.com that this news is showing here. So please check that out and see if you find value in MLHC yourself. Again, not something that I'm telling you guys to buy into, but do your own diligence. I'm trying to do your own due diligence. I'm trying to show you how I find value in stocks and you know, what makes me successful at trading in the OTC. So third and final one is going to be DIRV. Now DIRV has been one that I've been watching for a few weeks here now, and we're starting to see a nice little uptrend. And in particular on Friday, we saw some serious buying going on. You know, we saw these lows down in the 003, 004 range. This is the daily chart. Usually I'm looking at hourly charts, but for this, you know, showing here, I wanted to pay attention. Wanted you to pay attention to the daily and see how it's starting to uptrend on the daily chart from its lows here at the 0038, 004 range. I got an average of 0069, so I'm obviously a happy camper to see this up in the 1.5 cent range. I have reason to believe that perhaps there's something coming along in the form of some sort of PR, maybe some really great news on DIRV, because nothing came out yesterday, or on Friday, I should say. We're looking at OTC markets. Nothing's really new. Nothing's really changed. We saw some news this past week that they were going to be doing another interview with New York Stock Exchange. We saw that they had an interview with NASDAQ at Times Square. So maybe something went on. I haven't seen the official release of the interview on New York Stock Exchange. So maybe something went down during that interview that made buyers very interested in DIRV, so maybe that could have caused the nice buying we saw towards the end of the day. I don't know. I really don't know. But for me, I think that there's more to come with DIRV based off of all the other due diligence that we've already gone over. So it should be interesting to see how DIRV plays out on Monday and beyond. Now, DIRV, again, we've gone over their financials before. They are diluting as well. They have convertible debt. What OTC stock out there doesn't? It's very rare to find one that doesn't have some sort of, convertible debt. But, again, in my opinion, this is another one of those stocks that they're doing it in a healthy way, I should say. I don't know how to find the best term for that. But when they're diluting or they're converting these shares, and they're not just constantly dumping on the stock and letting it at least breathe a little bit so people can get in and not feel as if this thing's just not going to go anywhere. That always does wonders for a stock, so that they're not just constantly beating it down. And the note holders that are that have the convertible shares for DIRV, I guess, understand that they're not driving the price of the stock down and down and down. It's actually been uptrending since late August, early September. So good things coming with DIRV, I think. MLHC and ASNT, obviously, like I said, I think it's more of a chart play. In my opinion, when we see that reversal, we'll see though. But there you have it. Those are my 3 stocks to watch for this week. And let me bring you back into perspective. Sorry about the beginning there. I forgot about moving everybody around. That was my bad, folks. So there's my spiel. There you have it. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can answer some questions here for y'all. Can you check out NBDR, low float play, 27 million. I'm guessing that's 27 million float. Looks like bottom. And reverse merger complete. CEO post regular updates. Tiny overhead. Pink current and waiting for FINRA ticker name change. Also, sure, I'll check that out. See if there's other ones in here. CMGO have their hearing later the month, don't they? I can check that out as well. So let's go ahead and check that out. CMGO and NBDR. Why not? Let's do it. So let me bring it back down, bring it back down. NBDR. See how easy this is to use? Look, we have Discord integrated within WeTrade HQ. You can check out all the news, anything that people are tweeting about it, what have you. It's all there because my partner Jake is a freaking wizard, man. It's IT wizard. All right, so NBDR. Let's look at the daily chart here. Looks like it's downtrending right now. Let's check out some indicators. So it looks like there's some, consolidation going on, and that Bollinger Bands are starting to come together. RSI looks to be on a little bit of the low side, so it could be potentially an oversold situation. Just based off of the chart here, it looks like perhaps you could find a solid entry point to make maybe perhaps a day trade. I don't know what your strategy is on NBDR, but it certainly looks like from a chart perspective that perhaps this could be a potential entry point for you. It looks as though maybe it's reached quite a significant low. From looking at the daily chart, it looks around 245 range could be a potential support area. And that is just my analysis on the charting there as far as technical is concerned. If we look at NBDR from a fundamental standpoint, pink current, as you said, we always like to see that. Looking at security details, and I like to see that the float's pretty small. And it looks as though that it's quite liquid. It's not too choppy. It's kind of hard to really identify any kind of pattern, however. So not sure I like that. And I'm just looking at the hourly chart right now. Not crazy about it, but let's see what else they got going on. You had mentioned, what did you say? Let me pull that back up. Reverse merger complete. So here's the thing. Once reverse mergers are complete, that's the news. The news is over. If people haven't bought it because the reverse merger was coming, then that sort of play is over on a reverse merger. If people already know about it and the stock's already moved because of that, that play is over. There's no point in buying something after that's already happened, unless you anticipate perhaps another catalyst coming from that reverse merger, which, looking here, doesn't look as if there's anything else coming. They haven't alluded to that. So in my opinion, if I'm going to make a play on this, it probably would just be from a chart perspective. Maybe a 2 or 3 day swing trade. Perhaps try to get in at the bottom here and see if there's some sort of reversal that we see going on. But looking at it from a daily perspective, it's definitely downtrending. And maybe there's some sort of reversal in the works here. But I would like to see these Bollinger Bands tighten up just a little bit more, and perhaps this RSI come down closer to that 30 range and not hanging around in this, in the low 4s, high 3s. I'd really like to get it down here underneath of that 30 range if I'm going to make some sort of reversal play or something like that. For me, I'm not sure I'm going to be making this a long-term play. Certainly could make some money off of it in the short term, though, if I'm just playing the chart. So, next one is CMGO. Hope I answered your question there. Again, it's just my opinion. It's not something that I want you to take to the bank. Do your own due diligence, form your own opinion. But you asked me what I thought, and that is what I thought. So we're looking at CMGO. This is an old friend. Obviously, I got into this at 0018 range. I ran it all the way up to the 2-cent range back in April or May, late May. Wild, crazy run, and then it came crashing down when it did as what a lot of these court things do. They just kept extending the date and extending the date. People got weary and they got tired and they wanted to sell it off because nothing was happening. I'm not confident that CMGO is going to have this hearing just based off of that. There's potential that it could run a little bit because of the court case that's going to be happening here very shortly. Let's see here, CMGO. Just looking to see exactly when that court date is. I do apologize, I don't have it pulled up. Sometimes these things aren't readily accessible, but it looks like you had mentioned that it was going to be happening towards the end of the month. And I do feel like I remember seeing that, but I can't find the exact date. Either way, I would just tell you to be extremely careful with CMGO. There's potential here for it to run if they anticipate that this court date's actually going to go through, that they're not going to try to give you the runaround and extend it even further. We just don't know. I thought I remembered something along the lines of CMGO that there's also a hearing or some sort in December as well. It's just people are just exhausted with it. That's the problem. That's the problem with CMGO. We can see that it's clearly has been just sitting down here in the bottom, really not doing much since its first initial run. Again, this is when I had played it. I got down into this range and rolled that roller coaster all the way up here. And when we see these huge red candles, that was because the everybody was given the runaround on the court date and stuff like that Fortunately, I was able to get out closer to the top of the 2-cent range before all this garbage happened, and here we are. We're back to where we started. So CMGO, take it for what you will. I think it's going to be a very risky play until we finally see some actual action going on with in regards to that court case that had been happening. It's pretty terrible what happened to CMGO, but as you guys know, if you're used to playing these types of court cases, it's anybody's guess as to when it's actually going to finally happen. We were led to believe that it was probably going to be taking place back in late spring. Unfortunately, it didn't, and we're back to like I said, where we are here. So, thanks, Hussein. All right, UCRP QSHI does a move like that normally cause positive price action, so usually short term. So it all depends, Leo. We're looking at this within our community, within our Discord group. Lots of folks were in UCRP. Some people called it UCRAP, which is pretty funny. But QSHI, we'll just call it QSHI now. It's ticker symbol changes and like company name changes and that sort of thing. It's always a positive. But it's usually on the short term when it comes to those certain types of catalysts. Now, I will say that when ticker symbol changes and stuff like that happens, usually there's some sort of other positive catalyst that happens after that. So it depends on your risk tolerance. If you're looking to just make this short-term play and get in and get out quickly, especially if you're just starting out in your account building and you want to take those profits as they come to you, then perhaps maybe if you got into UCRP early and played this ticker symbol change catalyst and were able to capitalize on that, good for you. If you're looking to make a longer term play on something like this, like I said, historically when stuff like this happens, there's always some sort of catalyst that pops up after that would encourage and motivate buyers to come back in, thus increasing the price per share, of course. But it's just something, again, that you have to weigh out. What's your risk tolerance? Are you willing to wait that out? Or can you use that money that you've already made previously on something else to continue to build that account? You guys will have to remember, when you're just starting out in your account building, you just have to take those short little wins, those little base hits. I always like to compare it to, baseball. For those of us who have been trading for a while now, we're a little bit, our risk tolerances are a little bit greater than folks who have a smaller account. If I'm playing with $10,000, I'm going to have a little bit higher of a risk tolerance than somebody that's only playing with $1,000, right? Or what have you, more than that. If I have $100,000, I'm going to have a higher risk tolerance than somebody that has $10,000 because you have less to play with. So you have less to risk. I'm going to have more to risk, from a monetary standpoint, whereas you'll have less. So when you're at that lower point, you're going to want to try to take those base hits. Maybe some of them are just going to be bunts here and there. And, as you start to grow your account, then, you can reevaluate and try to go for 1 or 2 home runs every now and then. But always try to find those consistent gains so that you can build your account to a comfortable level so that your risk tolerance can continue to grow as you're building that account. And then you can start to, hit those big homers. So people are always looking for the next 10 bagger. And it's like, if you have a small account, just go for those 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe even 50% gains. And then if it continues running after that, who cares? There's always going to be another stock behind it that's going to have that same type of reaction. You just have to get good at finding those ones. And that's what we're here for. That's what I have my comprehensive course out there. So again, if you're just starting out, I highly encourage you to check that out. You're under no obligation to purchase it. It's just there for you if you need it. You can find everything that's in that course on YouTube, but it's nice and organized and consolidated so that you don't have to search hours and hours and hours on my channel to find the information that you're looking for. So check it out if you are interested. Again, links are in the description for that. And thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. I do appreciate you guys setting some time aside to join me every Sunday night. It's truly amazing, the community that we've built so far, and looking forward to the future and all the other developments that we have going on. I wish I could just tell you everything that we have planned, but we can't until it's there, right? So, again, if you are joining me for the first time, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for enduring towards the end of this, please subscribe to this channel if you're looking for more great content such as this and looking for not just stock watch stuff, but maybe just some helpful insights, maybe and get some some questions answered. And smash that like button if you are looking to support this channel. Guys, as always, please reach out. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions within our Discord group. I'd be happy to answer them for you. And again, as always, I will see you all before the bell. Take it easy, guys, and B Smith is out.